Yo, what's going on, family? In today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and strange TikToks that will make you question everything. Oh, snap, look.
Motherfucker.
Drone got a little pew pew. I wonder what that is. Like, what's it shooting?
Motherfucker.
What y'all think it was shooting out of that mug? Yo, swimming with sharks. Oh, I'm good. Hey, get up out of there. Nah, no way. I'm straight. Mm. Mm. Got a whole sun simulator. Mm. What was that? Some strange noises. You see that? What's going on in Chicago?
Get the
I don't even want to fly no more. I think that might be the reason, or the whole point of this, to get people to not fly anymore. This is crazy.
mood.
Oh, snap. So crazy, huh?
On TV.
Hmm.
Responders are finding survivors there in those waters. I mean, considering the fact that we saw...
Hold up. Now, everything that I have heard and read on TV, on TikTok, all the sources, there was no survivors.
Yo, he ain't lying. They said no survivors, but yet he found a video where they said at least 4. What's really going on here?
place on July 17, 2023. In that...
The fuck?
Wait, yeah, I'm missing the thing I'm supposed to be seeing.
She mouthed her.
Which took place on July 17, 2023. In that, we're to leave this interview and
Because she said,
suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden.
She realizes she made a mistake, so she's going to correct her.
We're to leave this interview and we're to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden.
So she has to correct her. So she leans over and says
Would
something
they
to
be
her.
representing what you said, correct? Answer by Ms. Demlow. They would be representing what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that.
Oh my God. Wait, that's not what I
said because I don't
Whoa,
have much
whoa, whoa, whoa,
knowledge
whoa,
of
whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa. No, that's not just writing the speech. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, weird.
Who was she getting that information from?
Medevac Med Service 056 on departure, turn right heading 290, runway 24, clear for takeoff, wind 25010. Medevac Med Service 056 affirmative, on departure, turn right heading 290, runway 24, clear for takeoff. Medevac Med Service 056, contact Philly departure 123.8.
123.8, Mike Tango Sierra 056 Medevac. Thank you, good day.
Medevac Med Service 056, Northeast Tower, contact Philly 123.8. Medevac Med Service, Northeast Tower. Medevac Med Service 056, Northeast Tower, you on frequency?
Medevac Mike Tango Sierra 056, Northeast Tower, how do you hear this transmission?
Medevac Med Service 056, Northeast Tower.
Fifty-six 098 Foxtrot, Northeast Ground, Roger. Stand by one. I'll get back to you when I can.
Yo, did y'all hear that?
Runway 24, what's going on down there?
Condition 765. We have a lost aircraft. We're not exactly sure what happened, so we're trying to figure it out. For now, the field is going to be closed, so no inbounds or outbounds probably.
All right, understand. Thank you.
6098 Foxtrot, I'm sure you copied that, but for right now, we're gonna call the field closed. We'll try to get you out here when we can. If we can't, we'll have to take you over to Atlantic, but stand by for now.
Be careful getting on Twitter. You might see a man burning alive right now. It's all over everything. It's very fucking graphic over there.
Yeah, Twitter crazy.
So just for reference, this is my Alexa, and it's saying it's 6:40. My husband pointed out that our clock that hangs up above our TV, the time was wrong. So I was like, okay, I'll go and change the batteries. And when I walk into our kitchen, I notice the other clock we have that's on batteries is on the same exact time. And you can kind of see here that it's like ticking a little bit back and forth, but it's not going anywhere. And these are the only two like battery operated clocks that we have in our entire house. And before you ask, no, I did not change these batteries at the same time. We moved into this house in April, and this clock hanging up here is new. The other one came from our other house. So I'm going to ask Alexa so y'all can see the date. Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Tuesday, January 14th.
And again, it showed the time being 6:40. And I'm even going to walk in here and show you guys my oven, which is saying the correct time. So why are these two battery operated clocks the same? I am generally confused right now. What?
All right, y'all are going to see this on TikTok at some point, so I'm going to get my little share of sharing in right now. But another plane just fucking went down Can I turn this around? Yeah. Another plane just went down Roosevelt Mall. It's the Macy's right there on Continental Boulevard. So they're blocking this shit off, all of it right now. But I'm out to go see what's up.
So for those of you who can't read, Lockheed Martin executive remotely controls UH-60 Black Hawk from 300 miles away during demo at AUSA Symposium. This was on October 22nd of 2024. So basically, they letting us know that you don't need someone on the aircraft to operate it. There's probably people out here, certain types of people, just living in the U.S. who own these things, right? They are high-ranking people, and they just own them. And they just decided, hey, let's remote control this one. I'm just saying, man, if you look at where that helicopter came from, it's going to make you question a lot.
Before that, to be honest, in my mind I thought like, what if the rocket would
The rocket?
Ukraine, right? And there's war. There's always rockets coming in and stuff like that. And then I see things flying. Like, no way, the war started again? You know, and you say it, you never know.
How did it sound? Describe what it sounded like to you.
I didn't hear the sound, but I saw the big light and I saw the explosion. Okay. The explosion. I was just like, I was like,
for real. He's for
is this illusion or something else?
Were you scared? Did you come running closer to see what was going on?
I just stopped. I was just looking around and I see the smoke. You can see on my phone, and then I just took my phone and started going. Yeah.
Can you show us what you What's your first name, sir?
But do you?
Can you spell that for me?
V-A-D-I-N.
They cut it!
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Because they try to control the narrative of this timeline shift and your reality, and they trying to make sure that your energy is placed with them and not with yourself. So you keep living outside of yourself and you're not living inside yourself, and you're dealing with so much emotional shedding, which is happening because we are in the year of snake, the year of the wooden snake, and it's the 2025, which is the year of completion. They tricking you to feeling stuff that ain't in your reality. Because we're going through this stage of shedding, our hearts are open, like we're really open right now. We're almost like new and fresh. Emotionally, we're on a cleanse. And this is the perfect time for a distraction. This is a perfect time to play on your emotions and get you invested into something that's not in your reality. When the moon is new, there are new opportunities. There are new possibilities of realities that you can tap into that is of higher timelines for yourself, that is the most greatest good for you and the collective as well. So you sitting here invested in a world that's burning, a reality of a vibratory rate that we've been complaining about for a long time. So now emotionally, you need to take time for yourself. You need to take time to shed. So when this new cycle of springtime comes along, the actual new year, you will see that the Most High has never left this planet, has never left any experiences that has happened here. Y'all been wondering how they able to get away with this free will stuff. Is because when our energy is enacting with them and what they want, and if their world is burning and everything is messed up and we're trying to fix everything, Source is like, okay, since you're asking, I will fix this for you. When really the intention of what you're trying to fix is to keep you cycling in the same experience. So you have to make a choice. Moving forward, where are you going to be at? In their world or in your world?
Break out of that matrix, y'all.
I don't want to say too much on the communication between the helicopter in the tower and the airline in the tower, but I will say this: there was communication. It was I would say standard communication. So there was not a breakdown, if that's your question, in communication between the military helicopter and the American airline flight. There was communication between the aircraft and the tower.
Was the plane aware there was a helicopter in the area?
I would say the helicopter was aware that there was a plane in the area.
So the helicopter knew. The plane didn't know.
What are y'all hearing?
Turkey 6098 Foxtrot Northeast.
Was that you're talking with the wrong people or you're fucking with the wrong people?
Y'all tell me what you think. What'd he say?
Holy shit! I'm barefooted. Look, I'm barefooted. I just ran out the house. What the fuck is that? Look how big it is. That's my neighbor's house. It's bigger than her house. Where are the red and green lights since it's FAA? This is just... Guys, I'm barefooted. I'm scared. Guys. Fuck, I want to go down there. You know what? Fuck it, guys. Fuck it. I'm so scared right now. Fuck, I don't know if I can do it. I can't. I don't have any fucking shoes on. Fuck. Whoa. Okay, I got my shoes on, guys. Do you guys hear that noise? Alright, I'm walking down there, guys. I'm really fucking scared, dude. And everybody who's calling me a pussy, touche. Fuck. Oh, man. This is way above my fucking pay grade. I just want everybody to know this. Like, for those of you telling me that this is just a helicopter, that this is just a plane, or this is just a drone, I'm here to tell you that it is none of those things. And now I'm completely in the dark, in the middle of the fucking night, looking for it for you guys, because it's out here somewhere. Look. No, that's not it, but that's something though. Oh, I'm so scared right now. My heart is fucking racing. I can't walk all the way down here. I just can't. I can't do it in my head. There's something. This isn't. Yeah, the math ain't math in here, guys. Look, I walked as far as I'm willing to go. I crossed that line that I said I would never cross. Right there. You can see it. It's right there. And I crossed it by a lot. I didn't just cross it by a little bit. Holy shit. Fuck, guys.
So what do you guys think that was? Was it Nick Fury and Avengers? Pyramid in China? Yeah, they got pyramids everywhere, all over the world. Pyramids all over the world.
Alien.
Oh,
You talking
snap.
about a video and then the videos are playing his eyeballs. I ain't never seen the edit like that. Whoever seen the edit like that, let me know. Kyle,
No way.
What kind of edit is that?
I don't know if that was an edit.
Yo, why Trayvon Martin parents are Freemasons? Multi-millionaire Freemasons on top of that.
What?
Trayvon Martin's body was missing for 4 days, and his parents chose Benjamin Crump as their lawyer, a person that's supposed to play a role as a black activist in the black community, but really do what the white man tells him to do, because he want to get paid. Also, Roy Mizell and Kurt's funeral home located in Florida, they are under $1 million lawsuit because the organs of black people's bodies have been stolen and missing. I don't even think I feel like I have to tell you, but I'ma still say it. Of course, they sell the organs on the black market. But the question comes down to this: why did Trayvon Martin parents pick this type of mortician in service? But guess what? It wasn't them. It was the bull secret of society that was led with them witches from Black Lives Matters, the 3 founders of Black Lives Matter, and that's when Black Lives Matter has started. So, you know, the funeral home serviced the body of Trayvon Martin and took out his organs. But guess who was in Florida that same week, in the same area and city that he was in? Big Shaney, the former vice president. So the heart right now of Trayvon Martin is beating in Dick Cheney's chest right now, as of today. A lot of people gonna be like, oh, you're just making this up. Oh, you're just doing this for views. Oh, you're going against the black community. Actually, I'm bringing awareness to the black community, cause we all just what are we marching for? Please tell me. We've been marching for years. We've been marching since Martin Luther King was on Earth. What is marching gonna do? Anyways, I'm gonna just add the cherry on top. This same funeral home has serviced the body of Kanika Jenkins and Kendrick Johnson. If y'all want a part 2, please comment down below, because I want to give y'all the tea on Kendrick Johnson and get on Kanika Jenkins.
Yo, we need a part 2? Yep, that's how it works. All day long, every day.
Why am I just hearing that Tom Brady is single-handedly about to ruin the Super Bowl? So it's rumors going around that Tom Brady is letting the world know that the owner of the Chiefs, his wife, has been paying referees off all this time. And when I say paying referees off, allegedly, he's saying that she's paid referees millions. And to be exact, she paid referees millions to win that last AFC game. Mind you, the proof that he's saying that he has, he's saying it's gonna stick. He's saying it's the truth. He's basically saying that they've been cheating. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. I stopped watching football a long time ago. But this is one of the reasons. I hear people are calling the NFL the new age WWE. Now, on the other hand, a lot of people are saying that Tom is hating because he don't want Patrick Mahomes to do something that he ain't never did before. And that's win 3 Super Bowls straight. I'll tell you this much. If any of this shit is true, y'all can kiss the Super Bowl goodbye. And honestly, a lot of people have been saying for years that the NFL is rigged. And if these allegations have any truth, the NFL might be over. I don't think Taylor Swift gonna be able to get Travis Kelce out of this one. I mean, but look at it like this. If it is true, and they do have to cancel the Super Bowl, a lot of y'all won't have to buy pizza and wings. I'm out.
Malaysian airline disappeared. A Greyhound bus can't disappear. Malaysian airline is in Diego Garcia, an island owned by the British, rented by the United States where they do their dirty work. That's what this is about. I know this and NBC don't know it. I know it and the CIA don't know it. Something ain't right. Well, it is right. It's a game.
It's a game. You know what he's talking about.
This is why I don't watch this shit. Why does this young man have a house on his head?
Why?
Why does he have a house on his head?
Chicken making a noise.
Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Stay away.
Y'all think something wrong with Kanye, right? Ain't nothing wrong with him. The fact that Kanye pulled up to the Grammys yesterday, got on that red carpet, started taking pictures, had his woman butt-ass, y'all seen him, made that statement, and then dipped off, then made that post on Instagram. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Kanye trying to tell y'all something. But you know what? Everybody think Kanye crazy. Nobody wants to listen to Kanye. You know, when Kanye was telling y'all all of the stuff that was going on, y'all was like, something wrong with him. Something is wrong with Kanye. And then 2024 came, and y'all see that ain't nothing wrong with Kanye. And y'all give all the credit to Cat Williams. It's nothing wrong with that, though. But Kanye been telling you. Kanye been telling y'all who been doing what. Kanye been telling y'all who pulling the strings, and what you do? You try and cancel. They canceled that man. Well, tried to cancel him. That man was a billionaire. Strunk him down all the way to 400 millionaire. But he back to being a billionaire. and he outside and he talking shit. He talking. Y'all better listen. Listen.
Every single emoji? Yeah. Yo, literally, I think the original 72 emojis that they created for the Windows PC, Mac, iOS, everything. Yeah. Those emojis, they're secretly demonic sigils.
What?
Oh, really? So, do you ever hear about the lesser, I think it's called the Lesser Book of Solomon?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't. So, there's this book, you know King Solomon in the Bible? Yeah. He's the one that was able to tame every single demon. Mm-hmm. And he wrote a book, and in the book, he wrote these sigils which would control, but also summon certain demons.
What the heck?
And guess how many there were? 72 exactly. So secretly, every single emoji fam is actually a demonic sigil to summon a demon. Check this out.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. So every single emoji,
like even a laughing emoji?
Every single emoji. Look at this.
Whoa.
So you see that? The X is on the eyes. You see this?
Oh, and like recreated, but this is his actual thing.
Now check this out. Boom. Remember the smoke one? Yeah, yo, it's not even like by accident, because this shit could feel like an accident, but look, you're telling me that's an accident? You're telling me this is an accident?
No way.
The crying emoji with the tears and it makes the exact sigil? Come on, stop playing. That's real. Look at this one with the teeth. Yo, it's not a game.
Yo,
this shit is real.
So like the original 72, he was already drawn out.
It's all the same, fam. Look, with the eyes, the glasses, with the teeth. Look, you see the two? The teeth. Yeah, fam. This is not a game, bro.
Shit, bro.
Yo, red alert.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that has red alert. Like, why are we allowing this? The zipper? Down to the zipper fucking emoji, bro. That's wild.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So this whole time, us sending emojis may have been summoning demons. That's fucked up.
No, don't put it like that.
So what is it for then? So what is it for?
To make the sentence more emotional.
No, but why did they do that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
that quote can be seen
to make this sentence more emotional. Yo, we've been out here summoning demons, man, with our spelling.
Flying at speed over the Potomac from the left side of the screen. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river.
That's crazy.
I heard that once you skydive, you can't feel, or like life becomes really mundane, and even things that used to be exciting aren't exciting anymore because you'll never get the thrill of that skydiving experience.
I'm keep it short, and yes, she's right. This is called post-adrenaline blues. After skydiving or any other super exciting behaviors, there's this rush in adrenaline and dopamine in your body. It's also super stimulating and addictive, and now your body's dopamine and adrenaline baseline levels has shifted. And when this high wears off, normal activities can seem dull.
Have you guys heard that thing about the night vision goggles? You know, night vision now, it's green. Yep. But in the Vietnam War, the night vision goggles that they were issued were red light. Multiple people in the U.S. military that were using them were seeing what they were reporting as flying demons. There's an instance where they're flying these helicopters in Vietnam. It was a safe zone, no hostility. And then the gunner in the back just started shooting, and the pilot's like, "What are you shooting at?" And this guy, he was like panicked and he's like sweating and like, "What are you shooting at?" And he's like, "The demon." Apparently this giant winged demon creature was like flying at him. And then people on the ground in the jungles that were using it, they were also seeing like these demonic looking, freaky looking creatures. And so the military banned those night vision goggles.
What?
And they replaced them with green light. Apparently a lot of these dudes were shook to the core of everything that they saw with these goggles on.
Did the bullets work?
That was my follow-up.
It was just prayer.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've looked into it a little bit because I heard the same thing. They were putting stuff inside the chemicals in the goggles that the chemical was literally leaking. And so they were literally tripping or having some type of like, it was a hallucinogenic.
I don't know about that last one, talking about they was tripping. That's just a way to cover up what was really going on. I think that we need to all invest in a pair of red light night vision goggles. You know, kind of like infrared. It's probably the goggles that the dude put on in that movie. I don't even know the name of the movie. I've seen clips from it so many times. Where he puts the glasses on and now he can see like demon face. And then the advertisements look different now. Yeah, we need them goggles. And they did say that in the Vietnam War, right? Like people in Vietnam, was real spiritual. They was really calling on them spirits to help them out throughout the war. So I'm just saying.
The tariffs are a distraction. I've managed to land on the border side of TikTok. The tariffs are a distraction. What you're not hearing about is the militarization of the border. It's I've never seen anything like it in my life. There's so many. I mean, just look up any border town in Texas right now and see the military aircraft, the Chinooks, literally soldiers getting off of the back of the helicopters. We're gonna go to war with Mexico. I don't think that's a question. It's a distraction. Look into it. Just take a minute, check it out. It's crazy. Brownsville, there's one. I think it's Fulton. There's another one. Check them out.
A war with Mexico would be crazy. U.S. Navy releases footage of Helios laser weapon. So not only are they in the sky, they're in the ocean as well.
Mel Gibson was on Joe Rogan's podcast recently, but he mentioned this story about the Pope. They had this ceremony where they brought in this wooden deity called Pachamama.
Translated Mother God.
Yeah.
It's like a rainforest idol.
Which is interesting because we've talked about before the Amazonians and stuff. They make like ayahuasca, or ayahuasca. And they talked about that Mother God is the one that taught them how to make this tea to be able to communicate with her in this other realm. To me, that's just like a red flag. But bringing that idol into the Vatican was wild. But on October 21st, there's a Catholic man named Alexander considered it a violation of the first 10 commandments. He stole it from the church, threw it in the Tiber River.
Grabbed it, ran to the river, and threw it in.
Mel Gibson responded to it. He was like, "This is number one on Moses' hit list." Yeah, that's how he referred to it.
Mother God, sure, why not?
Rogan's genuinely confused. He's like, "Why would they do that?" He's
Yeah,
like,
Rogan, who's not a believer, he's just like, that seems like they're not allowed to do.
I'll take it a step further. How are we even able to see you? Vision to me is just like, it's crazy when you think about it, right? Because it's like light and reflection and refraction and all of these different things. And you got crystals in your eyeballs and, even like a camera lens, right? Like it's just the mechanics behind that are just like crazy to be able to reflect this image back to you watching me. So when I see mirrors, right? I don't know, man. I feel like that's like some crazy high technology that we just adapted and start putting in our homes. You know what I'm saying? It was like some easy technology, but it was really like sacred or something. It might be like another dimension, because what it does is like, that's a virtual image of him on the other side. And it also has depth as well. And it's because of the light, and I'm still just very confused as to how, or I don't know, man. It's just confusing, isn't it?
Twilight Zone shit. Somebody explain in the comments, please.
Like what's crazy is like, I feel like even if you covered a whole mirror and just leave a little slither on the end, right? You'd be able to see the whole room.
Alright, so what you want me to believe is that Beyonce won no awards at the Country Music Awards, but the Grammy knows country music better than country music.
they say we only made one of these ever, yeah, right. This technology is all in the private sector.
I'm so glad that now the rest of the world is equally as obsessed with this lawsuit now that they have dropped even more evidence and more proof, plus the timeline. I'm sure everybody is clawing through it as much as I have. I have an insane update for you guys tomorrow. More insider information that I just got, major tip, plus putting together the clues of why Ryan Reynolds might have done this, like what inspired him to do such a hostile act. Just want to say off the bat, Deadpool's done. Like, we will never let our husbands go see this movie, any of this. Ryan Reynolds is done. Like, there is something very disturbing about this man and the way that he plotted to just like infest every layer of Justin Baldoni's life just to show him who had power and who had money. Also to Brandon Sklenar, and now that we're able to assign a motive here, just wanting to be around A-listers, just have the courage to pick up the phone and apologize. Like, we don't even need to be aware of it. Pick up the phone and apologize to Justin Baldoni. I mean, I don't even want you canceled. You're just a typical Hollywood slug, follower, could never be a leader. All of you just trying to climb to the top, whatever. It means nothing to the rest of the world. Nobody cares what Hollywood thinks. But try to have a little bit of decency and dignity and right the wrong now. Because it is never worth it to sit with the cool kids if the cool kids are just going around kicking puppies on a Friday night. But you guys, this is what Hollywood is. This is why I have never cared about Hollywood. I've never hung out with the Hollywood types. They're just a bunch of worms, dude. Like, just looking for a dead body that they can feed off of, hoping that it gives them life. This is like how I view them. And to be given such insight into the workings of how they go about it is what is shocking the world. It's shocking the world that we ever held any of these people up on a pedestal. For me, I guess when I was younger. And like I said, explosive revelations that I have for you guys. It's even worse than what you're reading in the lawsuit. And I just can't wait until tomorrow. I have like Brigitte. I've got this going on. The whole world is awakening to evil is the point.
So, what happened with Deadpool? I'm still lost after all she just said.
A woman on this internet told me that if I ate a steak on the first day of my period, I wouldn't feel like shit for the rest of the time on my period. And I just want to say I love you, I thank you, and I hope you get an extra $700 in your tax return this year.
Bet, ladies, take advice.
And the Grammy goes to Cowboy Card. Bombastic side-eye.
Bro, can someone please tell me why this whole entire time I thought all of Ethiopia looked like this? But bro, I just literally saw a video of what Ethiopia actually looks like.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That's like the most racist stuff I done heard in a while.
There is no way, bro. Somebody tell me this is fake. Someone tell me this is not real. I'm starting to think we're the third world country, bro. Let me show you. What the Someone tell me that was not real, bro. Tell me that was fake.
That was real, bro. That wasn't fake.
Most of you are aware that the websites for the federal government have been updated. Wondering if you are aware that this little icon has been added, this little flag icon with a 9-star flag.
9 stars, huh?
So this is showing up on many of the government websites. We're looking at hhs.gov here. Here is ssa.gov, again, with a little 9-star flag there. U.S. Department of State, 9-star flag right there. And here's the thing, when you search on that 9-star flag, this is the first thing that comes up. Confederate First National Flag, This flag has the first national pattern with 9 stars. The flag's large dimensions, blah, blah, blah. So, what everything here seems to be suggesting is that this was a flag used by veterans of the Confederacy. So veterans from the 9 states who seceded from the Union used this as their flag for their Confederate Veterans Organization. Now, when you look at, of course, little icons like this, I know graphic design comes into play a little bit, and so some might argue that, oh, this icon's just so small that, you know, you can't fit 50 stars in there, so they had to condense it down. I guess what I'm wondering is, if you're going to condense it down, why go with the 9? Why make it 9? And if you are going to do that, you know, why would you not check into details like this? Why would you not check into details and make sure that you're not associating yourself with something that you wouldn't want to associate yourself with? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Interested to hear what everyone else thinks.
Civil Raw. The Grammys are so dystopian. Where was this coverage for Hurricane Helene? Good question. When it destroyed the South. Asking for donations from working people at home is crazy work. When there are billionaires in the room who could solve these problems in one donation. I always ask myself this too. They're always on there, donate. But if all of these people just donated like 5% of their yearly income, that would be enough. That would probably be more than what they'd get from these donations from regular people. They're just greedy. They know what happened. They good from it all. They don't really care. They know what's coming next too. You know, they want the money there to rebuild the future. Not to rebuild, but to build the future. Because what was there before is not going to be there in the future. So, this is Hunger Games.
Sometimes life is like a soup. But sadly, more often than not, I am like a fork. So, I cannot grasp what is going on, but I am still going through it.
Good analogy.
So airplanes is falling out the sky and everybody in the world scared. Don't be scared. Society is unconscious and most people are unconscious, and it's the unconscious leading the unconscious. People post the news and shit just for clicks and money. They don't understand how the world works. They don't understand how powerful thought and emotions are, and they don't understand the true power and limitlessness of a human being. They don't understand that when you put certain shit out there and people become a certain way, they will materialize, and from the way many of you know it, manifest, and even in some situations, if you're a Christian or religious, they will bless themselves with shit that they don't want, but they actually do want it, because the idea of the universe, God, spirit, Allah, any of that doesn't understand don't and ideas and concepts like good, bad, yes, no, right, wrong. You do it, it happens. It's science. So when the individual becomes fearful of something, it creates a malignant magnetism by which it attracts the very thing that is feared. This is why when people usually become collectively terrified of something happening in a society, it usually happens. When we feared as black people becoming more harmed by the police after Trayvon Martin, what happened in the following months? More black people died than we had ever even seen. Hasn't happened like that. It still happens, but it hasn't happened like that because we haven't been scared like that, truly. When everybody feared Trump winning, the other side and Trump's side was happy he was going to win. When all the attention, thoughts, and emotions were centered around Trump winning or not winning, he did what? Won. I understand you may be seeing a lot of plane crashes and a lot of shit on the internet, but take into account your thoughts, emotions, and where your attention has been. Your attention, thoughts, and emotions have been on these things, so your material world is seeking. The material world seeks to validate all the things that you believe about yourself and your life, all the things you know. You say, man, I know I'm in danger when I get on this plane. Then You will be validated. So I'm making this video to let y'all know to not be scared. Do not be scared. Live fearlessly. When your time comes, your time shall come. Know that you will not know nor care. Know this. Do not use the world around you for confirmation to know anything. There is nothing that is a truth other than what you know. That doesn't mean go outside and try to fucking walk on water. I didn't say you couldn't. You can't. Because same reason you can't go in the gym and bench 225 if you ain't been in the gym. You can, but you can't. You see? So I ain't saying you can't go outside and walk on water or some shit like that. But my point is, you have to know yourself. You are limitless. But what have you cultivated within yourself? How true, how profound is your perception and your experience? So for the most part, you are bound by memory and physicality to a degree. But that doesn't mean accept it. Strive to transcend that memory, those boundaries, those ideas and conclusions. Do not let the world ordain what is for a fact or a circumstance of your life. The news can tell me all day, it's dangerous for this. Ooh. I'm getting on that plane. Fuck what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't got nothing to do with ego. It's that I am free. I know I am free. I am truly free. I can be nice. I can be kind. I can help anybody I want to help. I can do for anybody I want to do. I can catch any fucking flight I want. I can be the way I want to fucking be. And I am free to do it. And I am protected divinely. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'm not a Christian, but it shall not prosper because I shall not create no weapon against myself. No weapon formed against me shall prosper because I shall form no weapon against me. There is no separation of you and anything else. There is no separation between the divine, spirit, God, Allah, universe, yourself. There is nothing but the God, spirit, Allah, universe, yourself. So when you form something within yourself, against yourself, in the form of a belief, you are forming it simultaneously, materially, because it shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. And the kingdom of heaven is where? Within you. Take your fucking trip. Get on the fucking plane. Get in the fucking car. Live. Be happy. Be free. Don't wait for freedom. Don't purchase it. Don't click to it. Don't vote your way to it. Don't watch it on TikTok. Don't like that shit. Don't follow your way. Don't protest your way to freedom. Be fucking free and let no other circumstance or nothing of the material world ordain for a fucking moment what is or is not. You are not the body nor the mind. You are infinite spirit, just as all things are. There is nothing here but you. Know this. This is what it means. Do not believe this. Know this. Seek within yourself to experience this and come to know this. Do not believe me. Once you come to know this, this is what it means to be baptized in the Holy Stream. This is what it means to be wise, enlightened, illuminated, nirvana, Christ-like, conscious. Be free. Where your mind and emotions and attention is aligned is not a myth, and the material world is real. The material world is a fucking illusion and a myth. And where your mind, emotions, and attention is aligned, that is what the fuck is real. Fuck who the president. Be free. And from that place of freedom, strive to create whatever you want to create in the world. And once you know this, it'll probably be to bring this message to the fucking world.
And you really can't live a life based off of fear. And I feel like they do that a lot, man. They want us to live in fear. You can't do that. You kind of got to live your life.
Thank you.
At 10 a.m., huh?
We have now moved into DEFCON 1. If you guys are unaware, I have already warned the public that Popeyes is a branch of the CIA whose sole purpose is to distract and destroy the black community and to keep the American public in a state of division.
Every time a national catastrophe occurs or an unsavory conspiracy theory is proven true, here comes Popeyes with a new chicken sandwich.
I also warned the public about this CIA counterintelligence operative whose professionally trained CIA agent non-threatening eyes are just another set of tools used to ensnare the black community. In response, I was hit with multiple frivolous strikes on my main page, and they released this man to double down on their propaganda, gifting him 2 extra large bottles of Don Julio, as well as Don Julio and Popeye's exclusive drip. Unfortunately, I also predicted the second step of this Ronald Reagan-esque psyop.
The civilian release is going to come with petite Don Julio bottles filled to the brim. They're going to serve it right out the drive-thru. You think these people got morals? Not only are they going to serve it out of the drive-thru, they're going to set up a sting operation on the way out of the parking lot. You guys don't understand how these people work.
I have been proven right again. Popeyes have now become a hotbed of alcohol consumption on the eve of Black History Month. It's 10 a.m. and they're drinking Don Julio and eating Popeye's chicken sandwiches. The CIA is going on a major run, but I will not let them get away with this. I will never let Ronald Reagan win. Thank you for watching.
Stay away from the Don Julio, man.
Did you see how the moon is rusting?
I've heard about it.
So there's this kid that took like the most high quality picture of the moon ever taken, over like 2,000 images that he combined. And you can clearly see that the moon is rusting.
Okay.
Or I saw this on NASA. Research indicates the presence of hematite, a form of rust that normally requires oxygen and water. This has scientists puzzled. Hematite is a name that is derived from the Greek word meaning blood. Joel 2, it says, "The sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood, and it shall come to pass that everyone who calls in the name of the Lord shall be saved. As the Lord has said, and among the survivors shall be those whom the Lord calls."
That's weird.
It's throughout scripture of the moon turning to blood, and like, what does that mean? So like the Bible, it was ultimately translated into Greek at one point, right? And the Greek word for blood is hematite, the same word that they use for this rust.
Yeah.
And so it's like the moon has hematite on it.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's all gonna end soon, see you better.
End times is coming, my friends.
And while we were
I think the moon is like in our atmosphere, and it's probably not made of what we think it's made of, which is why it's rusting. Like, come on, man, how can it just rust? It's probably something else. It's probably a ship. Probably not meant to be here. You get what I'm saying? I don't know.
wrapped up and indulged in everything that's happening in the world right now, you know, the plane crashes and all the extra shit that's going on in the world, did y'all know that they changed the American flag? They changed the motherfucking American flag from 50 stars to 9. And ask me how I know, because I was just scrolling on the Department of Justice website today, and I realized that the flag did not have 50 stars. It had 9. And then I went to the Department of Education website to see if I was tripping, and the flag had 9 stars on that bitch too. So then I went to the Department of Education, and the bitch had 9 stars on there too. So then I'm like, fuck it, let me go see what this shit mean. So I searched the shit on Google, and it popped up with an AI answer, and it said 9 stars on a flag means the first 9 states to secede from the Union. It's given very much Confederacy. It's given very much really going back in time. But if y'all think I'm playing, go look that shit up. Go to the Department of Justice right now and look at the very top. At the very top, it's real small, but it's a flag in the top left corner. And it has 9 stars on that bitch. They changed the American fucking flag, and we over here distracted about some more shit, y'all. I'm telling y'all, boy, we going in some dark motherfucking times.
What y'all think? Me in shock after I realized we had 2 plane crashes this week, one out of Kansas and one out of Philadelphia. But what 2 teams are playing in the Super Bowl? Kansas City and Philly. Yo. Connect the dots. That's wild, ain't it?
So we talked about when the plane crashed at Reagan National. There was a gentleman sitting on the sidewalk waiting for his wife who was on the plane. He'd been texting her, and some reporter just happened to know to walk up to this man and be like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he was like, "Well, I'm waiting for my wife who sent me a text and then didn't text me back, and now there's been a plane crash and I think she was on there." Because I'm sure that's how the conversation went. And then he showed the reporter the text thread from his wife, which is also very weird to me. Number one, reporters like that, I understand they're necessary to get to like breaking news stuff, but ew. And then 2, that guy just being super calm about it and be like, "Yeah, cool, look at my text thread." Also weird. Now here is the video of him being interviewed today about his wife. I don't see any upsetness. I don't know if it's just me, but he like smiles at some point, and it's very, very weird to me. And again, everybody grieves differently. I know when I lost my Nana, my grandmother, I was a fucking wreck. And that was, you know, just, so this face here, him smiling and just having a regular conversation. What? Did you not love her? Was it an arranged marriage? Right. Are you happy because now you get all the money and you have like a side chick? Like, what's going on? I'm not trying to sound like a complete asshole. These are just my questions because I don't understand. And like I said, everybody grieves different, but that's a weird one to me.
First of all,
paid actor.
as I said yesterday,
We categorically reject the slander made by the White House against the government of Mexico of having alliances with criminal organizations, as well as any interventionist intention in our territory. Sovereignty is not negotiable. If there is such an alliance anywhere, it is in the gun stores of the United States, which sell high-powered weapons, yes, high-powered, that are for the exclusive use of their army to these criminal groups. This was demonstrated, pay close attention, it was demonstrated by the United States Department of Justice on January 8th of this year. Here, I have the document that was published on that date from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which is part of the Department of Justice. Take note, it acknowledged that 74% of the weapons used by organized crime in Mexico come illegally from the military industry of their country.
Possibly more of an observation, but I'm interested to hear all of your thoughts. We are all very lucky that we are across the channel and we are the far side of Europe. But Ukraine is actually much closer than all of us think.
To the record, page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlo, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that line, she says, the question was asked, okay, if someone were to leave here today, were to leave this interview and were to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden.
Chairman, one of the things I've learned in my tenure in the Senate is that a nominee saying that they're willing to work with me amounts to exactly zero. We need to get this fixed. Thank you.
Who are these little lip-syncing people in the background? What are they doing it for? It's all a script, right? All a stage. Didn't Trump say that anyway? Imagine if this was just one big movie. You guys would be some great cast for it, right? Umbrella organizations, umbrella corporation. Man, it's all one big stage. Oh, no. Oh, no.
As we're coming back to Los Angeles, we continue to have the fuel problem. But on the way below 10,000 feet or so, which is about 4 minutes before landing, our left engine decided to quit. But the right engine was great. We had a nice, eventful, nice, smooth landing. So I've been flying 35 years. This is my first engine failure.
Holy shit.
Very rare situation.
Oh, no. Engine failure, huh?
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Hunger Games. Causing plane crashes so people are afraid to fly is a genius way of making sure people won't leave. Does he have a point? It says Jaden Smith is wearing a house on his head at the Grammys. The political and economic state of the world is so bad that bro stopped caring. I don't know if it's so much that he stopped caring or that he's a bro. But I think that we're living in Hunger Games times, right? These are like some of the elite rich, right? And they all dress up so weird now when they're going on here. And if you go watch Hunger Games, they all dress up so weird. So what's the reasoning behind all of that? I don't know. Oh, no, that's Chipotle? Ugh. Me just move. 3 feet of snow in Japan, Tokachi region.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Imagine if that was what they saw back in the day and depicted it in like hieroglyphs or carvings, and we thought it was a dinosaur, but it was just a tail.
Bro, me and TikTok have been fighting. Every time I follow AOC and Bernie, they unfollow me. I follow again, they unfollow me. I follow again. Oh my god.
You can't make this shit up. Just had to evacuate the plane because the tire blew as we took off.
Oh
This is a
no.
United flight. We are on the fucking runway. Oh my god.
What's up with the planes, man?
Now this is my theory. Now, okay, y'all see the Kansas City Chiefs right here, right? Now you see the lights at the bottom of the house. These little lights right here. They just three straight lines, right? That's Kansas City, right? Now you go to the game day. That's supposed to be the what? The dome they playing Super Bowl in.
Oh, Arrowhead.
Okay. No, Arrowhead. That's in Kansas City.
They playing at Arrowhead.
That's Kansas City. Arrowhead, Kansas City.
No, they playing.
No, they playing New Orleans.
They is?
Yeah, they playing New Orleans. All right. That's the Kansas City house right there. See the little three little lines? It's shaped like a fucking three little lines, of course. All right, now you go to the Super Bowl. Now you go to the Eagles house. What them lights look like? It look like W's, right? Go Eagles, like a W, right? That's the bell right there. Hey, listen, man, it's just my thing now. I don't know if Roku telling it. It's just me. I don't know.
Yo, put your bets on the Eagles.
Apple, why do you keep playing in
Hold on. That's not gambling advice, though. You didn't get that from me.
our face? So now they're saying if you update your phone with the Apple 18.3 update, you are unlocking Starlink access. And you know what Starlink is, right? You don't know what Starlink is? So they're trying to get you with saying that you don't need a cellular base, that you can use satellite to text, call, etc. But you know what that means? Allegedly, that the feds will be able to know exactly what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how you're doing it. Example, just so happen you text somebody something about a higher official. They can see that text. They can see that text. And then you know what's going to happen? They can come get you. And then they can charge you and the person that you're texting. So basically you're saying that, and I'm talking to you, Apple, that we just can't have conversations amongst ourselves anymore. And they say that iPhones are better than Galaxies. I'm about to get rid of this iPhone. This one. And yes, I do have a Galaxy. I'm out.
Some salt?
Nah, for real, it's time to get rid of the iPhone. Look, let me show y'all what I got. Bam, I'm trying to get all the way off the grid. I'm telling you, this mug can't do nothing but play Snake. Yo, we finna go have a sugar, salt, snow fight. Everybody getting diabetes and high blood pressure.
Been a journalist that was flying drones over the island. Yeah. And he released footage of someone that looked almost exactly like Jeffrey Epstein right after Jeffrey Epstein allegedly passed away. So I automatically was very suspicious about the official story of what we've been told. So I said, I want to investigate this, especially if Epstein is still on Epstein's island. I want to go to Epstein's island. I want to investigate this. I want to storm the island. I want to see what's going on there.
Yo, y'all think he's still there?
Here we go. This might be the worst. I've heard it. Come on, car, go by. see the ground moving or vibrating.
That's crazy. I wouldn't know what to think.
This is crazy. Wow.
The news I'm about to tell you is fake. I have a really big feeling that we are under attack by our own military. Bourbon Street, Las Vegas explosion, helicopter.
So there was an incident where a piece of ice went through the next door neighbors. The neighbor next door saw the ice fall from the sky, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of ice. There's ice over here.
Ice?
Fire department, police officers here trying to figure out. I mean, obviously it had to have come from a plane.
Had to, huh?
I mean, where else could it?
The firmament.
And the lady next door she actually saw it come down. So now they're here. Yeah. And it must have been walking. And it just sounded like a big bomb? Like just went off or something?
I didn't hear nothing.
Well, you were, yeah. So, and the neighbor next door is not home, so, this is just crazy. Yes, I like your top.
Like that was so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't wear that to school, though.
Of course you can.
But I wonder how high this plane was.
30,000 feet probably. Yeah, about at least 30,000.
Wow.
But she said it was like this, really.
How big?
Like big.
Bigger than our house.
But it's hard to tell from the sky.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think that would have left a bigger thing.
Are you gonna stay here, or
For
are
a
you
little
gonna?
while, yeah. I'm gonna be here for a little while, trying to figure out what's going on.
We're trying to go viral.
Yeah, we're trying to go viral. What do you guys think it was?
We now have video footage of a fire-breathing dragon flying outside of a passenger plane, and this looks pretty legit to me. And before you ask, no, it is not an AI video. I already went and checked. It turns out to be real. And this has been happening a lot more lately, because if you remember, just a few years ago, this photo was taken in China and it was all over the news. And don't forget, just a few hundred years ago during the Tartarian era, in our encyclopedias, dragons were listed as now rare. So that means they were a real species, but they had become less common. Now personally, I think that the flat earth German ice wall map from the 1940s is the hidden key to tell us where these dragons flew off to after we had been killing them in the Middle Ages, making them more rare. I think they went to one of these other continents that were not too far away from our own, and they probably went to a place such as Asgard or Terra Vista, the unexplored regions. I think this map shows probably what is actually out there, the closest out of any of these ice wall maps that we've seen so far.
Y'all think it's really dragons out here? It's giving Game of Thrones. Anybody seen Game of Thrones? Or How to Train a Dragon if you got children?
This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate KARE 11 shows David Matori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine.
Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshack. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. Shawshack has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in this case is high. We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation.
If you're saying you're scared, what does that do to me, you know?
Imagine if the victim was, I don't want to say it.
You can just see on this stone here, you can see some really good examples of Egyptian style tool marks here, almost like saws, diamond tipped saws. I've kind of carved these out, or high speed saws with water and sand. But you can see the sharpness of it, and you can see the smoothness of this here. Even in Ptolemaic times, when this was supposed to have come from Egypt, it still shows a remarkable amount of symmetry, perfection, and high technology. And I believe with the connections with Baalbek and the styles, and even these as well, but even the earliest phase, like the Phoenician temple, the Western Wall and so forth, there's probably a connection with Egypt when it comes to all the masonry here, whether they were sharing knowledge, whether it came from the Bible lands, whether it came from the megalith building giants originally, we just don't know, but we're finding different eras of different high levels of technology here at Baalbek.
Hey yo, peace fam, Source God, Orion TV, bang bang bang, more like family, bliss up, abundance, and I don't know already. So yo council, you wanna know the real reason they hate North Korea in Rome? Because North Korea kept all the ancient Tartarian buildings intact. All the ancient Tartarian structures are still intact in North Korea. That's the real reason they hate North Korea. North Korea never had world fairs. North Korea never had fires that burnt down every single city and destroyed the old world architecture. So if you go to North Korea, you will still see a lot of the Tartarian buildings in their full glory. Like for instance, what you're looking at here in the background, this is a famous hotel in North Korea, this Pyramid Hotel. It's been there since the 80s, the 70s. It's been there since forever, and no North Korean ever built it. At what point did they construct this? Again, this...
Y'all gotta see the original picture of that though. Like, basically all they did was put like a veneer over it, right? They just put stuff on the outside of the original building. That's like a stone building.
Building that you're looking at is the Molecule Building. Alright? North Korea did not build this. This was there in North Korea already. This is from Tartaria / Atlantis. Guys, look at the architecture. Let's say 10 of the most fabulous buildings and structures on the planet, and a few of them are in North Korea. And these buildings, like I said, were not built by modern day North Koreans or any of these Asians or Caucasians. These buildings were all built by your ancestors, and that's the real reason for the propaganda that goes on in North Korea. They don't care about Kim Jong-un. They only care about the fact that those people kept the original pattern intact. If you go to North Korea, you will see Atlantis, you will see Tartaria. So all this propaganda is to keep you scared and keep you from exploring the earth and seeing the realm, the wars, the borders, the visas, all that. It's all to keep you locked in a box, to stop you from traveling the range and seeing the reality, because it will trigger your mind and help you elevate back to where you were in the beginning, the highest levels. And this is where we're going back to. All these wonderful buildings, all these structures, it's the pattern of the flower of life expressed out into the reality. We're going to express this. No more of the brutalistic architecture. That's what they love. That's what the invaders create. Squares and blocks and dead ends. We move and flow. We're ergonomic. Everything is in the spiral. All of our constructions look like this, and that's what they're trying to hide. Rome is trying to cover up your history. They can't explain how these buildings exist in North Korea because they can't give you that story about horse and buggy people from Rome doing this with all their fancy technology and engineering of stone chisels and hammers. Like, let's get realistic. None of that narrative fits in Asia. In Asia, these buildings and structures have been there for thousands of years. There was no horse and buggy people. That's why you cover it up. You don't even talk about it or address it. There are thousands of these structures from 1,000,000 years ago till today that exist, that will trigger everyone's mind and elevate them beyond your theory of evolution and any of that other goofy business. This is New Earth New reality, original man flow. Get on the wave. Let's go. Bang, bang.
It's a scalar plasma projector which structurizes the body and anything you eat and consume.
Wait, do it on your face again.
Oh my god.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, it does.
What's your major? Are you at school?
I'm just free.
Free?
Imagine if I went to Africa and I wanted to live there, right? And all of a sudden Africa wanted to deport me back to my homeland, the United States of America. And imagine if I went and I protested against Africa and I was lifting a United States of America flag in protest, saying I wanted to stay in Africa, but waving this flag from another country. How crazy would that look? How crazy would that be? That's exactly what's happening with people that are protesting right now in the United States. They're lifting up flags from different countries in protest of being deported back to those countries. Think about that. How wild is that? If you love that country so much, why don't you go back over there? But let's be really honest. Instead of you sitting there lifting up that flag from another country, why don't you lift up the flag from the United States of America and say, hey, I want to stay here. I love this country. I appreciate this country. It's a blessing to live here. I don't want to go back to any other country. And you wonder why patriots and United States citizens like myself are fed up seeing this stuff. Because you're ungrateful. You don't appreciate the blessing it is to live in the United States of America. If you did, you wouldn't lift a flag of a foreign country that didn't do nothing for you.
So everybody's talking about the government websites. So let's go to USA.gov and look at, okay, there we are, the government website, USA.gov. And we're going to blow this up. And there you
9
go.
stars.
The 9-star official website of the United States. There it is. Used to be the regular 50, but what's going on with that? So let's look up. What does the 9-star? Let's scroll down. What flag has 9 stars, or what does a 9-star flag mean? The 9 stars symbolize the first 9 states to succeed from the Union at the beginning of the Civil War. Okay, that's one. What flag has 9 stars? What flag has 9 stars? The Confederate First National Flag features 9 stars on the canton. And why the hell would that be on the government websites?
I think it's time that we start asking our government what is going on. What the fuck is this? And yes, guys, this is a voiceover. This is not me actually looking through my camera, talking at the same time. No, I just woke up and something said, let me check the Ring camera just for fucking fun. No, this is scary. This is fucking scaring me. Okay? I'm done. I'm done at this point.
What y'all think it was?
You know a crazy conspiracy we forgot about is McAfee, John McAfee. He literally told us he would be whacked, was suicided in prison, and then we just let it go. I mean, he literally made a coin about it. That one's wild.
That one is a crazy conspiracy.
Y'all, am I tripping? Like, what in the Ice Cubes today was a good day GTA? Like, is this a Goodyear blimp?
Yep.
Bro, when was the last time y'all... Bruh, this is about to have me crash out and have an existential crisis, because when was the last time it's too bright outside. When I first saw that, I was like, what the fuck is that? Motherfucking Goodyear blimp? Bitch, I ain't seen you since GTA 5. Like, what? I did not have Goodyear blimp on my 2025 bingo card. Am I tripping? Am I crazy? When was the last time y'all seen a Goodyear blimp? What is happening? Like, this is not a good year. This is not.
Yo,
Yo, council, peep this. This is deep. 2025 on the Gregorian. We should be seeing this on every news station. Seems simple, but it's not. This is mind-blowing and life-changing. Paradigm shifting. Guys, check it out. Dark oxygen discovery upends centuries of scientific beliefs. Textbooks to be rewritten. Are you guys listening to this? They have to rewrite the textbooks because of dark oxygen. Guys, dark oxygen is oxygen that's created in the deep ocean by some type of special metallic rock. It's an elemental creating oxygen in the deep ocean. They call it dark oxygen. Fam, oxygen is supposedly made when we breathe out carbon. The plants inhale the carbon, exhale oxygen. That's supposedly how oxygen is made. Family, it's a lie. You guys check this out. This is dark oxygen. Let's get into it. Scientists recently reported an unexpected deep sea development in the Pacific. Certain metallic rocks, crystals, seem to be making oxygen in the dark, without light or sunshine at the bottom of the ocean. This idea runs counter to the usual belief that oxygen only forms in sunlight through photosynthesis. See it, the family? Although these findings have stirred debate, the central claim is that the potato-sized nodules found thousands of feet below the surface appear to split seawater molecules and release oxygen. Family, I told you that Earth is a natural machinery, fam. Earth is a natural machine and is perpetual energy. All we have to do is tap in and we have unlimited source of everything. Council, this is just the beginning. We are uncovering so many things right now that are literally rewriting history. Like they said, rewriting the textbooks. They've been lying to us the whole time. This is that 369. We live in an energy universe. It's not dead matter. What they're telling you right now, family, is the rocks are alive. We've been telling you this for years. The trees are alive. The air is alive. The clouds are alive.
This man's body hadn't even been pulled out of the river yet, and we're talking about him being unqualified because his name is Campos. The politicization of this man's death is entirely inappropriate.
I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die. If I was green, I would die.
Hey, I'm from the 90s. I never knew that he said, if I was green, I would die. I thought it was, abba-dee, abba-da.
You guys good?
Yeah, we're trying to. My car's a little stuck right now.
I see that.
You want to help us?
We're gonna try.
Huh?
We're gonna try.
All right.
What happened? What happened? How'd you get on the tracks, man?
All right, good. Help us try and reverse this thing out.
Well, hang on. You are stuck.
Got a Lambo on the train tracks.
You know the trains come by right now, right?
No, I know. That's why I'm trying to get the fuck up out of here.
We thought we were making a right, and I turned onto the train tracks, apparently.
I'm trying.
But yeah, we're not getting back in the car right now, okay? The reason why, so...
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Keep your hands out of your pockets.
There's nothing in my pocket.
That's all, I'm gonna pass you down real quick. Put your hands out there, you
Come on, man. You know... Bro, I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to get home. And I made a wrong turn. Okay? And clearly, we would just like to get our car off of the train tracks.
It's
which
true.
we were
I
not
can
trying to be on.
confirm.
I'm just saying, if there's 6 of us, and
we throw this thing in reverse.
Okay. Well, I've already got concerns for your level of impairment anyways, okay? So that's why. Because I can smell alcohol coming from you, and you're on train tracks. Okay. So
come on, man.
Just listen to me. That's why I don't want you back behind the wheel anyways, okay?
I'm fine behind the wheel.
Okay.
I just would like to get my car out of this.
We'll deal with that after this, okay? We'll deal with that after this. But that's why I had to get you out of the car, okay? Because I hear spinning tires, I hear slurred speech from you. You're driving on train tracks.
I'm not slurring anything, and I'm
okay. I'm letting you know. I have concerns. Okay?
Well,
I
appreciate that.
Driving a vehicle, I can't let you back behind the car and drive a vehicle.
I appreciate your concerns.
Yeah, I don't want.
But I am not inebriated. I'm not anything that cannot drive home.
Dang, Michael Jordan, get your son.
So you find the specific iconography around the world. In the book of Revelation, you find it as well. The Nagas, the seven-headed serpent protected Buddha. Medieval tapestries, pretty specific. The Gnostics, in fact, have their own seven-headed dragon. That's from the book of Revelation. You have on the other side of the Atlantic, once again, the god Kukulkan, who has the seven heads, the seven-headed serpent. Siberia, you find it, is a shamanic seven-headed being. Even King Arthur fights the seven-headed dragon. The dragons and the serpents were the wisdom bringers. The Druids were called the serpents. In fact, St. Patrick drove the serpents out of Ireland, although there's no snakes in Ireland. In 1200 BC, he destroyed the old pagan belief system.
What's up with this?
To dub their content. I didn't even know this.
With this show, La Palma, is in Norwegian, yeah? Now watch this. No, watch this, watch the mouth movements. So this is original. This is the original Norwegian, look. Watch.
Det har vært veldig kult. Men jeg må passe på rommet.
This discovery came about because we changed it from English, and I was like, why is the whole video?
The whole video went black, and then I was watching it, and I said to Tommy, I swear she's now speaking in English, and Tommy was like, no, she's not.
I said it's dubbed, that there's no way to speak English, but watch this.
But hey, a few of us are going to
play volleyball, so ignore this girl's movements. Now watch this.
That'd be very cool. I've got to look after my little brother.
No.
AI to dub over the mouth.
What
and
is
then we went
real?
to check it, and apparently Netflix state that they use advanced AI technology. So when they're using dubbed audio, the AI will reprocess the actor's mouth in order to sync with the audio.
It's mad.
You have to question everything.
Yeah, you don't know what's real anymore in life. This is actually insane.
This is my son's sword. That is the pointing device. But yeah, no, that's crazy. I think that's pretty cool.
Now I just don't know what's real anymore.
This just freaks me out.
That'd be very cool.
And now I can kind of see it.
You can see it. You can see it.
I can see it.
You can see, but there's no depth in the mouth,
Well, come if you
and her face isn't moving at the same.
Is it on this though as well?
Wait, the left side.
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
Super advanced AI. It's been driving me crazy. I feel like it's some sort of important message, but no one knows what it says. What's it say? 1996. 100. There was definitely some subliminals in there.
A mystery in the sky caught on camera in the western suburbs. Take a look at this video of an object streaking across the sky last night around 9 p.m. Residents in Wadsworth and several other suburban communities also reported seeing objects that left a trail of flames behind. There have been no reports of debris hitting the ground, and NORAD has not commented on this incident. Well, last night on our news at 10, NBC 5 team meteorologist Brent Miller suggested it looked more like space debris than than a meteor, and Alicia concurs. So
Space
there you
debris.
Have it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you see? What do you see?
What the heck?
Oh.
Y'all think they really just found that?
Oh my goodness! Whoa! Oh my goodness!
That's crazy looking.
It's here, it's
What is the Northern Lights, or what are the Northern Lights? You know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Oh, snap. Yo. What was that? Which I think it was.
I found the alien mothership while flying over Barstow, California.
Yo. You see some crazy stuff when you're flying. Not gonna lie.
Hey, y'all. You're walking to McDonald's at 12 a.m. at night. Look what we got us right here. We got some of that alien action everybody's been talking about on the news. Look at that right there. I was about to get me a Mac rib, too. Wait, you think they want a Mac rib? Hey, y'all want a Mac rib? Y'all want a Mac rib? I'll get him a Mac rib. Would you think I should give him a Mac rib?
That's crazy. Look how it's just going in circles, though.
All right, y'all stay safe out there. You heard?
You think they want a Mac rib? I don't.
So y'all think I'm tripping? That motherfucking plane been sitting like this for a minute, but when I go zoom in, my phone does this.
Oh, snap.
When I zoom out, it does this. We're living in some fucking weird times, and that fucking plane or whatever it is been sitting like that for a minute, bro. And I've been over here for at least 15, 20 minutes.
Is it stuck in time? Is it a hologram?
But America helped Hitler. Here's the part that I don't like. It's the blatant, overt hypocrisy. You know BMW? You seen the BMW. Yeah, good old Hitler. That's Nazis. Mercedes, you like those? Adolf Hitler, Nazis. Krispy Kreme donuts, partially founded, Nazis.
God damn.
Let's cut the cap. Knock this off. He helped to kill some of our people, too, in the Holocaust. They don't talk about the African Germans who were there. Don't get this twisted. He learned a lot of what he learned as it pertains to the sterilization, and particularly with needles, from California. From this state, what it was doing to the over 20,000 black and brown women in the prisons. Adolf Hitler gave the credit to California for that part. As it pertains to the eugenics movement, he learned a lot of that from here. Wait. If y'all really want to go there, you helped him. He made Time Magazine's Man of the Year. The swastika didn't come from the Nazis. The swastika was an Indian symbol of peace. That symbol is used all throughout Africa. That symbol is used in Ethiopia. That symbol is used when it comes to the pyramids in ancient Kemet. That symbol was used by our people for peace and tranquility and good faith and love and all these positive affirmations long before Adolf Hitler and the Nazis took it over and stole it. That symbol was used by the Navajo tribe here in Phoenix, Arizona, bro. It was in the 1940s. They had to remove it. Coca-Cola used to use the swastika. There's a swastika city in New York. Let me help you, bro. Wow. There's a swastika city in Ontario, Canada. So again, he stole that. They stole that, just like they have stolen a lot of different things. And I'm not encouraging people to go put the swastika on. There's so much horrible history that they have put on it to where you have to put things in full context.
No, these are not just eerie warnings for our lives, but we are being warned that they are watching us, and if we don't do something now, we won't survive to the next year. People were terrified after Kendrick Lamar's haunting halftime performance left the crowd in complete shock, with many saying that it's not just a demonic warning, but a horrifying prediction of what America will become, with it already coming true, and none of us will be able to escape this new era. Images showed the hailing of the Freemason to symbolize how America is in trouble and needs
prepare for the worst, with flashing clips also showing the hangman referenced in tarot cards to say Americans are about to be cursed with lots of death. The performance ends with the terrifying phrases "game over" and "warning wrong way" flashed right at where Trump is sitting.
If you have more information on architects that we should work with to build a city, because in Liberia, I envision building a city of the future, an infinite city that can constantly grow. And I envision flying cars. I envision mastering our own minds and telepathic abilities. I envision a spiritual telephone where we can pick up the phone and talk to our ancestors, eventually starting with a Morse code to a language, to hearing their voice, to eventually seeing them. Yeah.
And in 1896, he published a book called Race, Tendencies, and Traits of the American Negro, in which he lays out all the numbers, and then he concludes that if we simply avoided allowing black people to have any access to health care, that within 2 or 3 generations, the whole race would die out, and that would solve the race problem in America. When Teddy Roosevelt, 1912, proposed a national health care system, people said no because black people will get it. When Franklin Roosevelt proposed a national health care system, it was the same thing. We don't want black people to get it. When Truman tried it in 47, same thing. Don't want black people to get it. We have to figure out a way to keep black people from using Medicare. And the way that they came up with was to have a 20% hole, a gap in Medicare, so that you had to pay 20% of your doctor's bill and your hospital bill, and that would discourage poor black people from showing up at the hospitals. Nearly 100% of the reason why the United States is the only country in the world that doesn't define healthcare as a right is because of racism.
You know, there are many pictures about the Russian liberating Auschwitz, and there's never any snow. And the snow was honestly that high. And so I have some connection with the Russian embassy, and I was there once, and I said, something puzzles me. Those photos are fakes because there's no snow. And they said, well, yes, when the army came, they didn't have cameras, they didn't photograph. So only much later, they took pictures like you see now, but this is definitely not in Auschwitz and not the liberation of Auschwitz.
Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, assembled a staff of experts to research the origin of European Jews who had been entering America in large numbers since the 1880s. Ford's research cost him several millions of dollars, and in 1923, he published the results in a 4-volume work titled The International Jew. It was Henry Ford's conclusion that the Jews were not descendants of the biblical Israelites. Ford further proved that these Jews, committing all sorts of crimes while under the cover of being called chosen people of the Bible, were rapidly taking economic and political control of America. Henry Ford also claimed that the Jews had secretly gained control of most Protestant seminaries and Christian book publishing houses and had been able to remove almost all criticism of Jews from Christian literature. In summing up his findings, Henry Ford stated, "The Jews are not the chosen people, though practically the entire church has succumbed to the propaganda which declares them to be so." Ford's book caused a major uproar for a few years, but soon disappeared from colleges, universities, and public libraries, and became unobtainable at any price.
Yo, like, the people that are in control the past. Like he said, man, you can't find that book nowhere. So basically, they took it off the market. No one has access to it. No one will ever be able to read that book. In a few years, no one will even know about that book. That's how you control history.
Written by a guy, last name Kaufman, I'm blanking on the first name, where he said it's Germany must perish.
Yeah.
Like, they literally wanted to get rid of Anglo-Saxons. And so when you have that context and you're going, whoa, why was I never told about this book, which was published in America? He wrote a book about how they would have to just annihilate them, how they had to make them infertile, that they couldn't produce. And then you hear at the end of that war what was done to German-speaking civilians, and that should send a chill down your spine that you don't know it. That is what scares me, that we were never taught it, which means that we were specifically told an angle, and that angle has been protected for a very long time for a reason that must be evil, because lies can only be served to protect evil.
One of the books that I've written, Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, is what happens early on. And one of our concerns is we have studies that document that black boys may be the best students in the country. up until 4th grade. So the question is, what happens to black boys in the intermediate and upper grades to begin to create the kind of image that you're talking about when they become 18 years and older? I sincerely believe that only men can make boys men. Now, don't misquote me. I did not say that a single female parent could not rear or educate her child, but she need not do that by herself. Because I understand we're on television time, it's time to make the point very clear. Where are black boys going to see black men? If you look at the home, 38% of all black children live in a single-run household. In terms of school, 80% of all elementary school teachers are women. 95% of all teacher aides are women. When you look at on television, you'd be hard-pressed to name 5 positive black men on television outside the news, especially if I excluded Bill Cosby. And then, unfortunately, many young people, men don't go to
took him
church.
away.
So the last place is the streets, and that's the problem. The streets do a very poor job making black men.
Did not push the vaccine. You were told if you had pushed the vaccine for your patients, say you had pushed 6,000 people who were your patients at that time to get the COVID vaccine, what would have been the income to you?
Yeah, so Blue Cross Blue Shield had an incentive program to get doctors to administer these shots. And under that incentive program, if I had vaccinated the 6,000 patients that I treated for COVID, I would have made $1.5 million.
I'm about to make this all make sense in one video. Pete.
We have only bits and pieces of information, but what we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI. To AI. AI. I mean artificial intelligence. A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines.
Y'all don't think Elon have a warehouse that's lined up like this right now? The Terminator, half man, half robot, right? I know y'all remember this. Let's continue.
We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky.
Y'all know. Did y'all hear the part where he said he don't know who struck first? Have y'all seen this movie Extinction on Netflix about how we had to go against the robots? Yo, we're in the fucking movie. Oh my God!
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We don't have the technology to do that anymore. We don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology. Destroyed that technology.
Destroyed that technology.
And it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon for a number of technical reasons and exploration reasons, and then after that, Mars, maybe high orbit in Venus atmosphere, maybe going to Europa. There's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system. The only limit to human future is in our own imaginations.
Now, why would you destroy the technology that you need to go to the moon? Why? After you just did this successful exploration to the moon, right? You're going to destroy the technology so that you can't go back? Or you just never were there. You never had the technology to get there. Or it's not something you can go to.
Has anyone looked around Kazakhstan? Because I know Borat said it was like a poor country, but
not at all.
I asked ChatGPT where Tartaria was, and it told me it's in Kazakhstan. And the more I look around on Google Earth, I'm like what kind of things are actually going on here? And I mean, there's a bunch of I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Everything seems really nice, and Like, I never knew they had such amazing structures. But then I did like more digging, and like every single town has amazing, like, oh my god, who made this?
So I just drove from Georgia to California, and here's some tidbits of my experience. First of all, America isn't what we think it is. I'll come back to that. If you're new at driving, do not drive through Nevada and Arizona. You will be scared. Once you're no longer in a major city, which is like 80% of America, there's no black people. I didn't even see a lot of white people either. But I was confused about one thing. I saw that the Mexican and the Native American communities were kind of combined, and it kind of puzzled me. For one, I couldn't tell them apart. And high Mexican populated areas were next to reserves. So being new to this, I even asked a Native American what that was about. They didn't even know. So are Mexicans a descendant of Native Americans or vice versa?
I think so. I don't know.
They have colonized time. I was reading this book, The Colonization of Time, which I don't recommend. It's just a whole bunch of words and not saying too much of anything. But it did talk about how before colonizers arrived, they noticed how the indigenous people just moved around freely and just wandered about, just carefree. Our concept of time was tied to nature because we are tied to nature. The sun, the moon, the stars, the earth. We observe the patterns and the movements of the animals. We observe the changes in all kinds of vegetation. And that's how we understood time. The colonizers, being unnatural with no connection to nature, did not understand this. So they imposed a rigid mechanical system of minutes and seconds and hours, and they used it to constrict our movements and to constrict our minds.
Dang, I can't even say it. Colonization of time.
Dude, look at this shadow right here, man. Look how cool that looks. Dude, I used to never see these right here. Never. And look at all the I've never seen that in person but one other time, dude. Just look how crazy that looks. I mean, it goes all the way. Look at that, man. That's wild, ain't it?
How?
Probably the coolest thing I've ever seen, man. And look, there's even another one right there it looks like maybe, but look, what are these things right here? What's that news guy's name again? I can't remember his name. He commented on one of my videos one time about these, just saying it was, it was normal and blah, 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 but I just think it's cool because I've never seen that before, but one other time. And I remember being a kid, and I remember being a kid, man, and I never saw these right here. Like I never ever, those, it's just crazy stuff, man. It's pretty cool stuff.
It is crazy. So is the shadow casting up or down? Do y'all know?
Breaking news, we're going to make America healthy again with the confirmation of RFK Jr. He was confirmed just a few short minutes ago with a vote of 52 to 48. Look out, folks. Kash Patel is coming next.
All right.
I know the government has been real stressful for everybody lately. All the news is pretty much just bad news. But I got some more bad news. That's the best part. There's a problem that I don't really see many people talking about, so I'm going to bring it up. There is a huge white nationalist movement going on in the United States. I knew about it years ago, but there wasn't anything I could do because it's freedom of speech. Plus, they're very organized and they're very hidden. And it's not just like a couple clubs, down south. It's not just that. They have them in every single state. In bigger states, they have them in every single city. And it's not just like a club where people come together and, have a couple drinks and play cards. They are training. They organize together with outside chapters to work out, martial arts, firearms. They also do other things that, just regular dude shit. But these are not just dudes. These are dudes that have been training for the past few years because they want to be ready for what's about to happen. And Everybody told me I was crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Why are you spending that much money on ammunition? Why do you work out so much? This is why. I told people that when this shit happens, don't come to me. I was crazy every day but one. The day it happened. Now I'm gonna hold your hand when I'm telling you this because I mean this in the nicest way. If you are a bigger person, you need to lose weight fast. You need to go get a gym membership. You need to work out. If you are out of shape in any way or form, even if you're in shape, you need to join a gym. Lift weights. Do cardio. If you have a boxing membership or some type of martial arts, even better. If you do not own a firearm, buy one. Practice with it. Yeah, they're expensive. Put it on a fucking credit card. Not like we're going to last long enough for you to pay it off. And no, don't buy a freaking High Point. Do your research. Buy something very reliable. Buy something that you can afford as well. Buy ammo. Buy ammo. If you can afford plates, buy them. Level 4 plates. Buy tactical first aid kits. Make a bug out bag. I know there's some people that have had trouble getting in shape. This is a reason to, because this isn't a negotiation anymore. Now you don't have a choice. You have to. This will save your life. You got a bunch of social medias, delete them. I mean it, delete them. That $500 billion that we're putting into AI, we already have AI. They're going to use it as surveillance. They are going to access your phone without you knowing. And be careful what you say to people, because over 100,000 members worldwide of this organization, they'll turn you in when things go south. And the names of the clubs will not always be obvious. I want to point that out. They have hundreds of different names, and not all of them you would think, oh, that's a club. Be safe, be armed, stay alive.
Or involving that Black Hawk helicopter, of course, involved in the horrific midair collision over the Potomac. The NTSB and FAA briefed lawmakers behind closed doors today, and the senator who, after that meeting, said that the Black Hawk helicopter was equipped with a key navigation safety tool, but that it was turned off. Here's Martha Raddatz tonight.
Crews tonight lifting the mangled wreckage of that Army Black Hawk helicopter from the frigid Potomac River, 8 days after it collided into an American Airlines jet midair, leaving 67 people dead. The NTSB briefing lawmakers behind closed doors today, Senator Ted Cruz saying that helicopter had turned off a crucial safety system.
This was a training mission, so there was no compelling national security reason for ADSB to be turned off. The Black Hawk had a transponder, so it would appear on radar, but ADSB out is significantly more accurate.
That system, the Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, or ADSB, tracks the location of aircraft by GPS, showing altitude and ground speed, as well as where other aircraft are around them. Experts say it's significantly more accurate than radar.
If they've got VIPs on board, they'll turn their ADSB off so people won't be able to tell where they are for security reasons.
You hear what he said?
ADSB on for regular training missions where security may not be as necessary.
Who was on there? The helicopter was flying above the maximum 200-foot altitude when it slammed into the plane as it made its final approach to Reagan National Airport. And tonight, the NTSB saying preliminary data confirms the pilots of that Black Hawk were wearing night vision goggles at the time of the crash, which experts say can make flying over city lights challenging. The ADSB and
my brother had a whole debate because they put in the history books, oh, slaves couldn't read or write. I was like, maybe they just spoke another language. I don't believe they couldn't read or write. They had kingdoms before. They was already established before. They were speaking Hebrew. I knew it. I just knew it. I had a feeling they were speaking another language. I just couldn't figure it out.
Bro, what the fuck is this?
What? It's a ghost ship? I'd stay away from that.
What the fuck is this?
Hmm. What the heck?
There's no pizza we didn't love.
They'll name 3 names for your lady parts.
Mini moo for JJ and a pizza.
What is up with the pizza stuff, y'all? We see it everywhere.
What?
And a pizza.
Look at Ellen like, yo, why you telling them? Ellen's like, come on.
Mini moo is when you're describing it to a child.
What?
For JJ is like, hey. And a pizza is when someone's nasty.
When someone's nasty.
What?
Honey, pizza's here.
Pizza? I told a story about going and having pizza at the Clooney's in Lake Como.
Yeah, that's all in Anniston. It's like, George and I would love you to come over for pizza, but...
How was the pizza? Was it good?
Oh,
Did he make it
Amal's
himself?
pizza was better than Clooney's. They both made, everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he doesn't
5
do
different
better
kinds.
than
5 different
everybody
kinds or
else.
6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clooney's was
quiet.
excellent.
Shut your
Amal's was the winner.
Best pizza I've ever had in my life. Best fucking pizza I've ever had. Had some type of lettuce on it. I've never tasted this shit. Some white babies got some white babies. Some white babies. Damn! I pay property taxes, bitch. I own my.
Get back.
I own my.
Sir,
don't do it. I own my. Don't.
You understand why we're out here?
My guys aren't going to Forever 21. I didn't get down here. We can get out of here.
Okay.
And we might need an escort. We got a vehicle right over there. A Jeep with a dog in it. Hey, come on. Hey, mother. It's not worth it. Sir, stop. No. Hey, come on. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I got the wrong neighborhood. Guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. They ain't gonna come to y'all neighborhood and do that. It's not worth it, guys. Hey, it's not worth it. We'll get that. Just, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Back, bro. It ain't worth it. Back. It ain't worth it. Back.
Talking about it ain't worth it.
Back, guys. Back. Bro, it's not.
They're protecting their people.
It is. You know it is. Worth it. You know it is. It ain't worth it for these ignorant ass people. Hey. Guys, y'all gotta get out of here. It's not worth it. Get that up out of here. Get your bitch ass out of here. You're out here, man.
That's how you come together and get people about your neighborhood. You know, they coming over here trying to spread some hate. Nah, you in the wrong neighborhood. You chose the wrong one. Get up out of here. Talking about we might need an escort because we got a car over there. Don't come over here demonstrating if you feel like you need an escort by the police. Don't ask them to help you if you're going to demonstrate some hate. You know? Because if it was the other way around, I'm just saying.
Wait, what is this? Oh, there's a rocker here. Is this rocker lit? Right in the center of the room is the sarcophagus of God, Osiris. Oh my god. This sarcophagus is allegedly the portal to the underworld, and virtually no humans have ever been here before. How deep was it?
That was at the bottom of the pyramids? Mr. Beast got pulled to do whatever he want, basically. Yo. Got powers? Like, how does this happen? This is nighttime, right? And it's just super bright, just lighting up the sky.
你看看，是啊，什么鸟啊？不知道。
Wait.
老大一片，这不又来一片？看，2片、3片鸟，哎，你看看，看，啊，这是嘛呀？鸟啊！你看看，嘛鸟？这不正常，大晚上。你看看，你看看。我这3波啊，是鸟吧？又来了，又来了！我操，都那么多呢！哎呀，
Bro, what is
这不
it?
鸟是嘛？哎，你拍下来。
What was that?
They're low. 3 of them.
Yo. Get this one away from me. Uh-oh, we got aliens out here on the beach.
Was Japan bombed during World War II to hide traces of old world Tartarian buildings and structures?
I think so. I think a lot of wars and a lot of bombings and things of the such have all been to cover up the past, to destroy the past, and so that they can rebuild what is now, the present.
We all know or can look up the official reason for World War II. But was the destruction and therefore covering up of old world technology at least an ulterior motive? After all, was it really necessary to lay waste to entire cities towards the end of the war when it was almost already won? You can see that similar to Germany, Japan looked better prior to the war than it does today, even with so-called modern technology. And while there's theories that nuclear weapons aren't quite what we're told they are, that doesn't change the fact that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were completely leveled. Not to mention even more damage was done to Tokyo due to persistent carpet bombing. It was such overkill it seems it was about more than just winning a war, and as well as depopulation, was about cleansing the earth of an advanced civilization that existed before us.
Facts. I don't know.
This lady in Congress apparently was suing Starbucks because they weren't listing the ingredients on their drinks.
Oh, gosh.
And the pumpkin spice latte had the active ingredient of ammonia in it.
Oh!
Why?
They use it for food coloring.
No
to make it
way.
orange.
No
Yeah. So
way. There's gotta be a better way.
In Europe, they list the ingredients and they use, I believe, carrot or beets or something. It's like a natural food coloring. But the U.S. Starbucks was using an ingredient that included ammonia in the pumpkin spice lattes to make them orange looking.
What are we doing? Yeah, why?
Well, I wonder why everyone's dying of cancer.
Because we're drinking ammonia. Yeah, and that's on purpose. That has to be on purpose.
Yeah, because it's the cheaper option.
And there's no way they just cut it out. It's the middle of fall. You know how many millions of gallons they have of that stuff, probably?
Oh my
gosh. Boycott pumpkin spice lattes.
Remember that clip of George Bush Sr. throwing up at the thing? Did you see the video clip, the news clip that happened afterwards?
I think so.
It was really weird. I watched this video about it, but they said, one, it was super weird that when he started throwing up, his wife put a towel over his face.
Yeah.
Like, and so he's just like...
Yeah, I'm not buying that this was built for the 1915 World's Fair just to be torn down later. This is remains of what could have been. Man, imagine if the old world was like that. I used to read a lot of books when I was younger, fantasy books and stuff, describing ancient times or old times. A lot of it was in Asia, samurai books and stuff like that. It would be nice to live in some times like this, you know, where the buildings are grand or things are just a little bit more peaceful, where we're not constricted to time or work or the daily stresses of life. We can focus on the art aspect of things.
Yeah, they already told you that the spell is over when Lizzie over there died and they snapped the wand and put it right on her casket for the whole world to see. Most of y'all missed that one right over your head. Now what queen you know? All the queens I know carry scepters or staffs. This one had a wand. Only people I know that carry wands is witches and warlocks. See, they putting everything right in front of your face because it's revelation. You thinking it's a great war of Armageddon, but it means to reveal.
Dang.
If the sun was below the firmament, then it would reflect off the dome and create a sun-like dome reflection above your head.
Has anyone figured out the symbolism of the order of the dancers in this shot? I haven't seen anybody comment on it yet, and I feel like it's almost spelling something out, but I can't quite figure out what it is.
Where are all the blind people at? Because it's Braille. That's my guess. I think it's Braille. And that's why we don't know what it is. This is crazy looking. Yo, that's what it is.
Oh, the one rabbit hole that I did get into, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the Scientology stuff. I really wanted to know what was it, you know what I mean? And there was one guy who infiltrated the whole thing, but like we've seen, and I've heard stories about people that just do the test, right? It's literally an IQ test.
Yeah.
And then they try to put shit on you. But this guy, this YouTuber, he had like one of these Snapchat glasses.
Yeah.
And he went to the church service, and I've never seen.
And it's like a video cam on the glasses,
and
right?
I've never seen a Scientology church service. Like I've seen the questionnaire, but I've never seen it. And all they do, fam, the pastor goes, oh, everyone sit in your seat. You guys sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat. You sitting? Good. Everyone sit in your seat. That
Wait,
goes
what?
on
That's it?
for 10 minutes, fam.
Okay, sit in your chair. Good. Sit in your chair. All right, now are you sitting in your chair?
Yes.
Excellent. Sit in your chair.
And he just saying commands over and over.
What's the point of that?
And I'm like, yo, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I went to the comments. I'm like, okay, let's see if people are no. It's just brainwashing technique. If some guy
keeps repeating it,
an accomplished task,
yeah,
it's gonna get more sensitive to obey him. So when he says, oh, come next week, you're gonna come next week? Yeah. Are you gonna come next week?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Are you gonna come next week?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fam, it's 10 minutes of one command, 10 minutes of another command. Yo, it kept going. And if you're really just
That's
like
crazy.
subconsciously like there, yo, you might get fucked up. Like you. Ooh.
That is wild. Yo, this is Paradise. Anybody seen the new show Paradise on Hulu? This is Paradise. Inner Earth. Caves and stuff.
Wildest conspiracy theory is that this is all set up. That this is the biggest setup the world has ever seen.
Yo. I don't know what that was. Oh, snap. What's up with the planes nowadays?
Have you ever heard of the story, The Epic of Gilgamesh? No. The story was written 2000 BC. The story talks about how he was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. And the claim was that he was 17 feet tall.
Oh man.
And he was this brutal king, like just tyrant. The story goes that he was buried under the Euphrates River.
That's drying up.
Well, here's the thing. In 2003, a archaeologist by the name of Jörg Fassbinder, he was in the Mesopotamia area and doing like the whole LiDAR thing. And what he said is, I have found the tomb of Gilgamesh.
Oh my gosh.
But it's underground, right? So they have to like dig it up.
Mhm.
Guess what happened 1 month later?
Earthquake.
The U.S. invades Iraq.
Oh my gosh.
No way. Oh man.
This is where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
All the archaeological sites were then stopped in Iraq, so stop digging. You're out of here. But the locals around this encampment, the U.S. encampment, reported that the U.S. military were digging at night, taking things out of the ground and putting them onto trucks and driving them off.
We're villains.
We are. Aw, snap. Brady a clone. He's a clone. They put that in a movie a while back, too. I forgot what movie it was, but it was like so many different clones of Brady. He would just like go into like this like tanning salon and he would come out a whole new person. Like they would just keep cloning him. Yeah.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back.
So there was no actual dancing, lack of clothing, or inappropriate behavior that children could see during the halftime show. As a parent, it was PG entertainment where I didn't have to have an impromptu X talk. Yet, it was entertaining. Hey, for real though. You know, he ain't cuss, none of that stuff.
The outfit that Kendrick Lamar wore at the Grammys. I don't know if you
What did he
bagged
wear?
it. Oh, you didn't bag it?
No,
Okay.
I didn't watch it. I don't.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Kendrick swept the Grammys. 5 Grammys for that one song.
For a diss track,
that
which is
killed
crazy.
Canada, right?
Mhm.
So what is known in Canada? The Canadian tuxedo.
Oh, he wore this
went
Canadian
up
tuxedo?
and he wore denim on denim. So that's another like level of hating of Kendrick. It's literally chess. These like small
Mhm.
things to jab at Drake. Yo, he went up there 5 times with a Canadian tuxedo.
That's kind
on.
of crazy.
Off the song that he got popular.
I wonder what's gonna happen at the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is gonna dictate whatever else Drake
Yeah,
wants.
yeah.
Because it
I'm
could
waiting
go
for that
really,
still.
really. I heard rumors that the Super Bowl they're gonna end up Drake and Kendrick are both gonna come out.
Oh yeah, it was a pure symbol.
Yeah, like apparently it's just gonna be that's the reconciliation, but I don't know. I don't see that happening.
No,
really.
Because I don't know if you've seen Drake's concert recently.
Mhm.
He had the
bullet holes in
he
his
had the
hoodie,
bullet
right?
holes in the hood with
And he
the
had
smoke.
It was kind of hard.
Yeah, it was kind of hard.
But some people thought it was
corny.
corny. Yeah, it's a Drake thing. It's a Drake thing to do. It's kind of cool. So
He definitely looked in the mirror before. He's like, "Nah, this is fire."
I noticed we're not seeing Palestine. We're not seeing the California wildfires. No more drones. No more Cat Williams. No more Terrence Howard.
That's true.
They're not talking about Luigi. They're not talking about the guy that they found on the East Coast with 150 pipe bombs. They're not talking about none of this stuff, bro. Dang. They finessed us. They finessed us. This app is definitely different. That's crazy. Who else noticed this, bro? I knew it was something different about TikTok, bro. Bro, I want y'all to go in y'all search bar, search the California wildfire. I just posted about the California wildfires. But as soon as that uploaded, I started thinking, I ain't seen no alien content, no conspiracy content, dealing with the devil. They ain't talking about that spaceship that they found in space that was coming. Remember that? Bro, how is this okay? See, I'm about to go back to Red Note, bro.
Red Note, huh? No, I never got on Red Note. It's a message. Oh no! What the heck?
For
I'm about to try to
Elon
take
Musk's
off.
son to tell President Trump that he needs to go away because he's not the president, and then double back after that and tell President Trump to shut his mouth. And when he told him to shut his mouth, it sounded like he said a curse with it. And y'all know I usually drop the video, but I'm not gonna put that video on here. It's circulating, so if you want to see it, you can see it. In order for him to say those things, trust and believe everything that he said he heard before. Now, where he heard it from, we don't know. But 9 times out of 10, he heard it from his father. He's always with his father. And I know we all know this. Kids cannot lie. Kids have no filter. Whatever a kid hears, they repeat and repeat. So apparently, Elon Musk must be at home saying those things. He has to be. Believe this, that kid would never have said those things if he didn't hear before. It's a lot of you that have kids. You know your kid. You know the words you say in your house. If you say damn and you got a kid that say damn, come on now. That kid heard that somewhere before and he's just repeating what he heard. And the way he repeated it with passion. With passion. So that means he hears it with passion. Like, you're not the president. Go away. Shut your mouth. That's, I don't know. That says a lot to me. I don't know what it says to you, but it says a lot to me. Kids speak the truth.
Hey, the people in charge are the billionaires. It's not the president. In my opinion, I think it's the billionaires, the corporations, the ones with the most funds. Oh, snap. Show didn't show that. Oh, snap. Behind the scenes. The A minor. Wow. They went crazy.
They told us mercury is toxic. I think they mean toxic for the energy companies profiting billions every year. Keep watching to see how civilizations before us got their energy.
Mercury.
Buildings from the old world, the sacred buildings, they used to have these brass balls and they loaded them up with mercury and they put them real high up so that they could gather atmospheric energy, which is free energy. The higher you go up, the more energy that's up there, and they would run, for example, a copper wire down into their home and they could use that if they wanted free energy or to light their light bulbs or whatever things that they had in the home.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and follow for more content like this.
I'm about to start experimenting with some mercury, y'all. About to have free energy all through this spot.
Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like, bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type.
Warning, wrong way.
I don't think nukes are even real.
What? We got to dive into that. So what made you have that position?
Actually looking into it, the facts around all of it are insane. So Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I think they were all bombed, but they weren't even in the top 10 most bombed. Did you know that?
No.
Tokyo was way more bombed. They weren't even top 10. And the Japanese didn't surrender because of that. It was because the Russians just went into Manchuria and there was no fallout. The fallout was what scared me. I'm like, okay, so it's going to poison the water and the air forever and ever. And then my dad did a speech in Hiroshima or something and I was scared about the fallout.
Yep.
And it's like, oh no, there's no fallout. And then I realized that they never even evacuated. And then I started looking into nuclear bombs and I'm like, so where is the proof? And then right here in Nevada, they used to blow all of them up. There's no fallout. So I'm like, oh, it's like a psyop. And that's why I'm not even trying to push it on people that they're fake, because I see the game theory of it where it's like, I have a gun under the table, so do I, let's not go to war. But the fear of it was nuts growing up. There's really no evidence that they exist as described.
I'm going to be standing there in their so-called gas chamber at Auschwitz I, and I'm going to be pointing out, oh, no holes in the roof. So that rather makes a mockery of your eyewitnesses who said that they saw the SS men standing there.
Theory of it where it's like, I have a gun under the table, so do I, let's not go to war. But the fear of it was nuts growing up. There's really no evidence that they exist as described.
I'm going to be standing there in their so-called gas chamber at Auschwitz I, and I'm going to be pointing out, oh, no holes in the roof. So that rather makes a mockery of your eyewitnesses who said that they saw the SS men clambering up on the top and dropping the pellets through the holes in the roof. Oh, look at that door over there. It's got a glass pane in it. A pane of glass in a gas chamber, in a door. And there's a 2-inch gap under the wooden door. It's a drafty gas chamber, this one. Right? I'd be asking questions like that, and they know they can't stand that. And so this is the reason that I'm banned from the Auschwitz site. Because I'd be asking the questions about the heaps of coke which don't exist. What happened to the bodies? I'll be asking questions like that.
There's a lot of questions to be asked about that, but they don't want us to ask those questions because they don't want us to uncover any truths. But yeah, what do you guys think about this Kendrick Lamar halftime performance? Do you think there was a lot of messages there, a lot of symbolism? Are you guys concerned about the future? Is it really game over? I don't know. But yeah, these are some of the most strange and creepy TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.